Hey, I'm sorry. I was just about to eat my lunch. I'm having pasta today. And we're talking about digestion yesterday. And you see this noodle? This is called penne. The noodle's very small. I didn't really have to chew it much or move it around with my tongue because I was able to digest it pretty quickly. So maybe there's some other kind of food I could show you that may not be so easy to digest. Oh, hold on. I have a snack over here. Now this is a carrot. Love carrots. Good for your eyes. Rabbits have really good eyes. Maybe because they're eating so many carrots. Who knows? But anyway, this is not something I can easily. This is a very hard vegetable. This is not cooked. And when you bite it, it's very hard. So now I'm gonna chew it with my teeth. I never even realized how much my tongue moves the food around so I can eat it. Wow, now I think my saliva is making the carrot wet. It's gone. I digested it. Okay, so this is exactly what we were talking about yesterday. Digestion. Okay, I just digested a pasta noodle, and then I just digested a carrot. There's only one thing I did incorrectly. Does anybody know what it is? You should absolutely never do this. You in the back. That's right. That you should never talk with food in your mouth. It's not polite. If you have something really important to say, goes back to manners. If you have something really important to say, wait, chew your food, and then speak. So food doesn't go shooting out of your mouth, okay? This is a really important thing when you're eating with your friends at the lunch table, when you're eating at home dinner with the family. Yeah, very important manners thing. Don't talk with food in your mouth. I was trying to prove a point, so just want to say sorry for that. Wasn't very nice. But anyway, I hope you understood and you thought about the things I was talking about as I was digesting, and that's really what I wanted to do. So digestion begins in your mouth, we talked about yesterday. And today we're going to spend an extra day on this because even though we eat every day, we don't really know what's happening. So it's important that we do a heavy review and focus on the things that we learned yesterday. Yesterday we talked about the food begins in your mouth. Okay. Number 2, what happens next? Teeth. What do your teeth do? They chew, okay? And another good word for chew is grind. They grind the food, and that means like kind of mash, make it smaller. Then your saliva helps out too. The wetness from your mouth, the saliva, takes the food and makes it from something that's maybe dry into something that's wet. And when things are wet, they can easily be swallowed. Okay, you always want to make sure you chew the food good enough before you're swallowing. People that eat too quickly can put themselves in danger because they're not giving themselves enough time to chew and swallow. And this could happen too if people are really excited to eat or they're really hungry and they want to eat it too quickly. I know when I eat spaghetti with no sauce or butter or anything, just plain spaghetti, if I eat that too quickly and I don't take a drink, I'll get the hiccups. Definitely, definitely, definitely. All right, here's a side story. I was in my driveway with a machine called a snow blower, okay? And all of a sudden it stopped and it shut off. Very powerful. And what I realized is there was a newspaper underneath the snow that got sucked up into the mouth of the snow blowing machine. So I asked my neighbor, I said, "You're a really smart scientist. Can you help me?" He goes, "Yeah, sure. Take a bucket of hot water and pour it on the newspaper. When it gets wet, you'll be able to take it out in pieces." Well, I thought that if I used water in freezing cold outside temperatures, it would freeze. But since I used the hot water, it didn't have time to freeze. So I was able to take the newspaper that got clogged with the machine off very carefully and get the machine back up and running. So just like you get your food wet and it goes down your throat, this newspaper that got stuck in the snowblower, frozen newspaper, once it was wet, it was able to fall and break apart into pieces and I could easily take them out. Same thing's happening in digestion. Maybe I should tell my neighbor, hey, what you told me to do was almost like digestion when you're eating. I think you'd be pretty excited to hear that information. He always is looking for more information. A darn physicist. All right, so food starts to change in your mouth. When you chew, your teeth grind the food into smaller pieces. Saliva gets the food wet. Then your tongue mixes it all around. Okay? And that's what we're talking about. Your teeth, tongue, and your saliva, they all work together like one big family, like one team of teamwork to soften food and make it easier to swallow. All right? Now, this is the first part of digestion we're going to be talking about this week. It's very similar to the same textbook pages yesterday. Tomorrow, we're going to move on to bigger and better. We're going to move on to the parts and pieces that these places that the food travels through to get through your body. And we're talking about all these places that are carrying around the nutrients in your body and giving your body the good stuff. So you get energy from food. The way that that happens is a process called capital D. Digestion, yes. All right, really important word. And that's really about it. Tomorrow we're going to move on to the small intestine, the large intestine, talk a little bit about the stomach and the esophagus, all these really big words. I'm not hiding them from you. I'm going to show you just what they are and what they mean, all right? So this way when you're reading about them, you could say, hey, this journalist said something about esophagus. Oh, that's what they're talking about. That's how you understand content reading. Okay, that's how you understand topics in ELA and topics all over. Even though we're in science, it can help you in many different subjects. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow when we talk about body organs in the digestive system. Adios.